This video is about the silent war every man fights inside his own head. No applause, no witnesses, no shortcuts. The purpose of this video is to help you understand that battle, control it, and win it. If you master this mental fight, your life changes from the inside out. Subscribe to the channel if you want strength, clarity, and truth, not comfort. Every man carries a private battlefield, not a dramatic one, not visible, but constant. On the outside, you look fine. You show up, you function, you smile when required, you perform when demanded. Inside, pressure builds, quietly, relentlessly. Doubt whispers that you are behind. Fear warns that one mistake could cost everything. Anger grows from being underestimated, ignored, or disrespected. Ambition pushes you forward while exhaustion pulls you back. All of it collides at once, not in public, not where anyone can help, but alone. Usually at night, usually in silence. The world only sees outcomes. They see wins or losses, money or lack of it, strength or weakness, status or invisibility. They do not see the nights you questioned yourself. They do not feel the weight of responsibility you carry. They do not hear the internal arguments you fight daily. Stay comfortable or push harder. Quit quietly or suffer forward. This is where most men break. Not because life is impossible, but because the war is invisible, and they feel alone in it. Weak men deny this war. They numb it with distractions, endless scrolling, cheap pleasure, blame, excuses. They pretend everything is fine until everything collapses. Strong men do the opposite. They accept the war exists. They stop being surprised by resistance. They stop expecting ease. They prepare. They train their mind like a weapon. They build discipline when motivation dies. They learn to move forward even when confidence disappears. They understand that pressure is not a sign to stop. It is a signal to adapt. This war never ends, but once you accept it, it stops controlling you. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are in a fight, and real strength begins the moment you admit it and decide to win. Men are not designed to complain. They are designed to solve problems under pressure and move forward. When conditions are hostile, complaining does not reduce the weight, it only exposes it. So men learn quickly that silence is more useful than noise. Society does not reward male vulnerability. It rewards male competence, results, reliability, strength, consistency. When a man performs, he is respected. When he hesitates, he is ignored. When he breaks, he is replaced. This is not opinion. It is observable reality. From a young age, men learn this lesson without being taught. When you fall, no one rushes in to save you. When you struggle, you are expected to figure it out. When you succeed, you are finally seen. This programs a man to internalize pain and externalize results. So men handle pain silently, not because they feel nothing, but because they feel everything and still move forward. They carry stress, responsibility, fear, and expectation without broadcasting it, because the world does not pause for male suffering. This is not cruelty. It is reality. Nature works the same way. Weak structures collapse. Strong structures carry weight storms. Do not ask if you are ready, and neither does life. Men who fail to understand this become resentful. They wait for sympathy that never arrives and feel betrayed when it does not come. Men who understand this become resilient. They stop seeking validation and start building capability. Fighting alone does not mean being isolated. It means being accountable. It means knowing that in the moments that matter, the final decision and the final effort will come from you. Once you accept this, you stop feeling sorry for yourself. You stop asking why no one understands you, and you start asking how to become stronger, sharper, more reliable. That shift changes everything. Solitude becomes training. Silence becomes focus. Pressure becomes fuel. And the man who once felt alone realizes he was being forged the entire time. There is a voice in your head that questions your worth, your direction, your ability to win. It does not shout, it whispers. And that makes it dangerous because it sounds like logic. It shows up when you are tired, when progress slows, when effort is high and reward is delayed. It shows up at night when there is no distraction and no audience, when you are losing momentum or standing alone without reassurance. That voice tells you that you are late, that others are ahead, that you chose the wrong path, that maybe this is as far as you go. It replays past mistakes and projects future failure with convincing detail. This voice is not truth. It is resistance. It exists because you are pushing against limits. Comfort never creates resistance. Growth always does. The mind tries to protect you from discomfort by pulling you back to what feels safe. Every man who ever built something meaningful heard this voice. Builders, fighters, leaders, creators, all of them faced moments where quitting felt reasonable and doubt felt intelligent. The difference is not confidence. The difference is obedience. Weak men treat the voice as authority. They negotiate with it. They slow down. They retreat. They wait for certainty that never comes. Strong men hear the same voice and label it correctly. Noise, friction, mental static. They do not argue with it. They do not try to silence it. They move despite it. They understand that the voice grows louder right before breakthroughs, because resistance increases as you approach the edge of change. They know that fear spikes before progress, not after. So they keep moving, not perfectly, not fearlessly, but consistently, one step forward, while the mind complains, one action taken, while doubt protests, one more day committed, while the voice predicts failure. Over time, the voice loses power, not because it disappears, but because it is no longer obeyed. And the man who once felt mentally weak realizes the voice was never the enemy. Listening to it was. Emotion wants comfort, rest, relief, and reassurance. It wants today to feel easier. Discipline wants progress, growth, and long-term advantage. It is not concerned with how you feel right now, only with where your actions are taking you. On hard days, emotion screams. It magnifies fatigue, turns minor setbacks into reasons to stop, and convinces you that comfort is earned when in reality it is only delaying the cost. Discipline does not scream, it whispers. It does not argue, it does not motivate, it simply presents the next required action and waits to see if you will execute. Most men misunderstand this. They believe discipline should feel powerful or inspiring, when in truth discipline often feels boring, heavy, and unrewarding in the moment. Men who win train themselves to obey discipline before emotion even has time to negotiate. They build routines, standards, and non-negotiables, so decisions are already made when pressure arrives. They do not rely on motivation because motivation is emotional and emotion is unstable. They rely on systems because systems function even when the mind resists. This is not about becoming cold or robotic. It is about becoming reliable to yourself. Emotions change daily, discipline compounds daily. Most men lose the battle right here. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until the mood improves. They wait until circumstances are perfect, and while they wait, their potential leaks away. The men who separate themselves act while emotion protests. They work while tired. They train while unmotivated. They show up while unsure, and over time, emotion adapts to discipline, not the other way around. Discipline works not because it feels good, but because it produces evidence. Progress builds confidence. Action builds belief. And the man who once struggled with consistency realizes the battle was never external. It was always between comfort and command. Loneliness is not punishment. It is a filter. It appears when you are separating from old habits, old circles, and old versions of yourself, and the space it creates feels uncomfortable because it removes constant stimulation and external approval. When distractions disappear, you are left with your thoughts, your goals, your fears, and your standards. Many men are not prepared for that silence because noise has been their escape. Loneliness removes weak influences, people who consume time but add nothing, conversations that go nowhere, habits that keep you average. It exposes what actually matters and what never did. This is where many men collapse. They mistake absence of attention for failure. They chase validation through attention, relationships, status, or approval, just to avoid sitting alone with themselves. Strong men understand the test. They use loneliness to sharpen focus. They study, train, build, plan, and think clearly. Without interference, they learn who they are without an audience. In solitude, vision becomes louder, goals become clearer, and discipline becomes easier, because there is nothing left to impress and nothing to perform for. This phase feels like being forgotten, but it is actually preparation. The world steps back so you can step forward, rebuilt, reinforced, and recalibrated. Loneliness either forges you or breaks you. Those who run from it stay dependent. Those who endure it emerge independent, controlled, and dangerous in the right way. When you stop fighting loneliness and start using it, you realize it was never emptiness. It was space, and space is where strong men are built. Failure is not a sign to quit. It is proof you are moving. Proof you are testing limits. Proof you are stepping into territory where outcomes are not guaranteed. Comfort never fails because it never attempts anything difficult. Men who fear failure design their lives to avoid it. They choose safe goals, safe routines, safe opinions, and safe dreams, and in doing so they stay average forever, untouched but untested. Failure exposes weakness, gaps in preparation, poor decisions, and unrealistic expectations, and that is exactly why it is valuable. It shows you where to improve instead of letting you live in illusion. Men who face failure gain something most never do: experience under pressure, confidence earned not imagined, and skill built through correction not theory. Each loss teaches something, if your ego allows it, if you are willing to admit you were wrong, underprepared, or undisciplined. Failure becomes instruction, not humiliation. Weak men protect their ego and repeat the same mistakes. Strong men sacrifice ego and upgrade their approach. Mental toughness is not built by winning early. It is built by losing, surviving, adjusting, and stepping back in stronger than before. It is built by learning to take hits without folding. Every capable man you respect has a record of losses behind him. Losses you do not see, because the final version hides the early damage. Failure is part of the fight, not the end of it. When you stop fearing it, you stop hesitating. And when you stop hesitating, you start progressing at a speed most men never reach. At some point, a man reaches a moment of clarity where excuses stop working and hope turns into responsibility. Nobody is coming to save him. No mentor, no system, no perfect opportunity. No one else is going to carry the weight. Bills, goals, family expectations, future security, and personal legacy all land on his shoulders at once, and the realization is heavy because it removes fantasy and replaces it with obligation. This weight scares many men. They feel trapped, overwhelmed, and unfairly treated. They look for someone to blame because blame feels lighter than ownership. But responsibility is not a curse. It is power. The moment you accept that your life is your fault, you also accept that your life is under your control. Strong men choose responsibility over excuses. They stop waiting for motivation or permission. They stop explaining why things are hard and start doing what is required. Responsibility gives structure to suffering. It turns chaos into direction and pressure into purpose. Every sacrifice finally has meaning because it serves something bigger than comfort. Weak men try to escape responsibility through distraction, entitlement, or avoidance, and in doing so they remain dependent, frustrated, and small. Strong men carry the load even when it hurts, even when it is unfair, even when no one applauds them, and that is why they grow capable, reliable, and respected. The choice to accept responsibility changes everything. It sharpens decision-making, strengthens discipline, and builds identity. You stop asking what you feel like doing and start asking what needs to be done. Once responsibility is embraced, the burden becomes fuel, and the man who carries it no longer feels lost. He feels necessary. Anger is power without direction, raw energy looking for an outlet. When unmanaged, it leaks into words, reactions, and decisions that cost you respect, trust, and opportunity. Most men are taught to either suppress anger or explode with it. Both are failures. Suppression turns anger inward, creating bitterness, stress, and quiet self-destruction. Explosions turn it outward, damaging relationships, reputation, and long-term positioning. Uncontrolled anger feels justified in the moment, but leaves damage behind: broken connections, missed chances, and regret that cannot be reversed. Power used without control always backfires. Controlled anger is different. It is sharpened, not softened. It is acknowledged, not denied. It becomes drive, focus, intensity, and relentless forward pressure. Strong men do not try to eliminate aggression. They learn to command it. They channel it into training, building, competing, creating, and improving. They convert emotional heat into productive force. Anger becomes fuel in the gym, fuel at work, fuel in discipline, fuel in silence. It pushes standards higher instead of tearing bridges down. This requires awareness. You must catch anger early before it hijacks your behavior. You pause, you breathe, you redirect, you act with intention instead of impulse. Dangerous men are not violent men. Violence is lack of control. True danger is restraint, paired with capability. It is knowing you could act but choosing precision instead. Men who master this gain dominance without chaos presence, without intimidation, and strength without destruction. People respect them because they feel contained power, not unpredictability. Channeling aggression into creation builds confidence because you see tangible results, strength, skill, progress, and leverage. This is how dangerous men stay disciplined, not violent. They turn inner fire into controlled momentum and use it to build a life that cannot be shaken by emotion. Real confidence is built in private, not in public. Not online, not through likes, shares, or hollow compliments. It is forged when no one is watching, when the world does not notice and the ego receives no reward. It comes from promises kept to yourself, small agreements with your own standards, followed consistently over time, waking up early, even when exhausted, training, even when unmotivated, learning, even when distracted, delivering results, even when ignored, training when tired, pushing through fatigue, lifting more, running farther, practicing longer, working when bored, doing the things that feel uncomfortable, because growth hides behind resistance, staying honest with yourself about strengths, weaknesses, and mistakes. No applause is needed, no validation is required, because this confidence is self-sourced. It is not borrowed from admiration, it is earned from consistency and accountability. This is the kind of confidence that does not wobble when criticism comes. It does not fade when setbacks arrive. It does not collapse when others underestimate you. Outer recognition is temporary and fragile, but inner confidence is permanent and unshakable because it is built on evidence, not ego. It is reinforced every day with action, not with praise. Men who cultivate this kind of confidence move differently. They speak differently. They carry themselves differently. They are not cocky. They are composed. They are not loud. They are steady. They are not seeking permission. They are taking control. This confidence cannot be taken from you because it is not dependent on circumstance. It is independent of opinion and immune to envy. It is self-contained and reinforced by every challenge survived and every goal achieved. When you master this, the world becomes secondary. Your actions become your authority. Your presence becomes your influence, and your mind becomes unbreakable. The mental battle is not a one-time victory. It is not conquered in a single decision or a single moment. It is fought and re-fought every day, in every choice, in every action, small or large. Sleep, discipline, training, purpose, and silence matter more than anyone tells you, because the mind cannot fight effectively when the body is exhausted. The focus is scattered, the spirit distracted, and the will weakened. You will never feel ready, the conditions will never be perfect, and the timing will never feel ideal. Waiting for motivation is a trap the mind uses to delay progress. The world does not pause for preparation. It rewards action. Strong men do not wait for motivation. They do not wait for clarity. They do not wait for confidence to arrive. They start moving anyway. They step forward and the mind follows behind, building certainty from action, rather than hoping for feelings to align. Every day you fight against comfort, against doubt, against fatigue, against distraction, against fear, against old habits. Every day you choose movement over stagnation, persistence over surrender, and progress over ease. The mental war is fought quietly, mostly invisible to anyone else, and often without recognition, yet every small victory compounds silently, creating momentum until it becomes unstoppable. Rituals matter. They anchor your mind when chaos comes. They enforce standards when distraction whispers. They reinforce purpose when the ego complains. They demand obedience. Winning daily means showing up when tired, training when bored, planning when uninspired, acting when afraid, and speaking when it is easier to stay silent. Strong men understand that consistency beats intensity. They understand that discipline creates results long before motivation can arrive. They know that the mind can be trained to follow the body rather than lead it. Every small daily victory strengthens your mental framework, and over time the battle that once seemed impossible becomes natural, habitual, and automatic. Winning the mental war is not optional for men who aim to excel. It is non-negotiable. It is the foundation of all achievement, the armor that protects you when everything else fails, and the engine that drives you when nothing else inspires. Every man fights this battle whether he admits it or not. Now you understand it, and knowledge is leverage. Use what you learned, apply it, and grow stronger. If this video helped you, subscribe and stay with the channel. We build strong men here, not comfortable ones.